So, hello everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to our regular Lunch and Learn series. If you don't know me, my name is Aina Life. I am life and enterprise coach and agile coach, and been in the industry for the last about 10 years or so. And today I am presenting with my colleague Umesh. So you probably know my other colleague Danesh. And Umesh has a similar name, but it's a different colleague and different person. So Umesh, would you like to share a few sentences about yourself?
Yeah, sure, Aina. Hey, my name is Lakshmaya Umesh Adepalya. My actual name is Umesh. That's easy to pronounce, Umesh. So I'm in the industries more than 25 years. From more than 15 years, I'm practicing and experimenting agility, I would like to say. So more than 10 years, I'm a coach and working with multiple industries or domains. So today I'll be my webinar on probability forecasting.
Thank you very much, Umesh, for the introduction. And I just started sharing the screen. Please let me know if you see it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So today we have a webinar, Probabilistic Forecasting, Techniques for Agilists and Project Managers. And there is something what I've studied during my MBA class. And guys, if you don't have an MBA and wondering, is it worth it or not? So the information we share here is kind of free and something what you can learn from MBA. Just the only one reason, if you study at MBA, you have the opportunity to practice it with a group, and here is just the theoretical knowledge, but at least you will have a taste what you're gonna study there if you consider to do this. So Monte Carlo technique is one of the techniques we've been talking about in MBA, and also Umesh showed me how to use it in our Agile world. And I will move the slide. So Umesh, would you like to share why probabilistic forecasting is useful for Agile and project management world?
Yeah, sure. No, I would like to know. I get two people here. Is there any chance they can speak out, Aina, over here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's nice. Hey, do you guys ever come across a situation where your leaders or a managers, somebody can come and ask you, hey, when you are going to accomplish it? You have seen that scenario or faced that scenario. When are you going to accomplish this feature or a project or a epic?
Yes.
What was your reaction or what was your response?
Actually, I kind of look at where we are in that project, and what is left for us to accomplish within that period, and kind of give an estimate of what I feel or where if we can accomplish it within the projected time, and if I feel we can, I give reasons highlighting our dependencies or things that could be setbacks that we will be working on. So that's it.
Great, that's awesome. So can I know how are you going to estimate that one? On what basis? Is it on story points or something?
We actually used to have create a roadmap on the stories that we'll be working on according to each sprint, and I can look with our metrics and be able to tell the time frame and what percentage is left for us to be able to work on.
Okay. How much it is accurate? Any idea?
Things can I can't actually say accuracy because things can come in unexpectedly. Like I could give an forecast and then something could happen. Like recently, I just had a team member die, so that forecast is not working any longer because we actually had a resource drop. Abilities are actually reduced, and so kind of it just kind of gives a guide. It's not, I can say it's 100% accurate. It could be like 60 or thereabout.
That's awesome. I mean, 60 is also a good number. Yes, definitely 100% is not possible, but 60 is at least, yeah, closer to something. That's great, Kofo. Surendra or Deepika, do you have anything from your experience? Okay, that's okay. So let's see, how can we know? I mean, thank you, everyone. So today we can look into it. What are the possibilities or what are the tools available right now? We can utilize that one to forecast, right? I mean, probability forecasting, why it is here, why we are here. It will answer when will the feature or MVP will be done. Means at least it will give a certainty or a range. When are we going to accomplish our a project or a MEP or a feature which we are going to work on, depending upon the past data? Or we can see also we can predict, okay, how many stories or how many story points we need to work to accomplish one feature, or even we can try about working on the future also. And also it will give says that one, hey, are we meeting the target date, whatever we committed, or do we need additional action? Whenever something is surprises us, then we need to look into it. Instead of that one, can we plan? I know some of the times as a managers or a leaders, we'll always commit to the clients without understanding what the teams are doing or how the teams are performing or what they can do it. There may be a lot of challenges, dependencies, as Gorfa mentioned, or it may be other internal challenges, right? Which teams are facing on their every sprint or every day on their, even if they're working on Kanban or a sprint, doesn't matter. Or even the project, doesn't matter. We are still in the waterfall. That's okay, but we can still predict what we are doing. And also the data which you are having, how can we make sure that one we are working towards that? And whenever we see the forecasting, we can see what is that we can need to prioritize the work. Something surprises us. Okay, do we need to prioritize the work, our backlog, or a MVP? And to do this one, a tool or a mathematical tool, which Monte Carlo simulation, which help us today. Okay, so let's look into the. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring the slide to show people if they never heard the Monte Carlo simulation term, and for those who couldn't join today and will still watch us later. So Umesh is going to talk about the forecast based on Monte Carlo simulation, but what is it? So in simple words, a Monte Carlo simulation is a mathematical technique that predicts possible outcomes of the uncertain event. And computer programs might use this method to analyze past data and predict a range of future outcomes based on the choice of action. And so, for the example, we have a distance between your home and office, and the distance is fixed. However, probabilistic simulation might predict different travel times by considering factors such as congestion, bad weather, vehicle breakdowns, and other examples, and that's why it's quite important. And I also like to provide some history if someone is curious. So this method was created in about 1940s by two people, John von Neumann and Stanislav Ulam, and they named it based on the famous gambling location. If you were in Monaco, you probably heard about Monte Carlo Casino, and why they called it based on the casino name, because in the casino, you also have some random characteristic as a roulette game. And where you can use this, you can use it for Agile and project management, obviously, and Umesh is going to show us how. Business, finance, online gambling, like the way it was created, engineering, and let's move on to the benefits.
Thank you. I think we can come back to this one benefit at the end. I would like to present the spreadsheet for probability forecasting. Then we can see whether it relates to whatever we discuss for the next few minutes. So the Monte Carlo, which is generally used in our, sorry, I think I don't have access screen sharing.
Just making you a host, Umesh. You should have it right now.
Yeah. Hope everybody able to see the screen. Okay. So this is the probability forecasting throughput forecaster. It's designed on Excel by Troy Meggins. He's one of the Agilist. He designed this one. So what is this actually? I mean, you look into this one. This can be, I will provide the link where you can download this spreadsheet at the end of the session, and we can show that website too. And just a disclaimer, we are not promoting any of the tools or companies over here. Just it's an open discussion from our how we are utilizing or how we learned about this one. Okay. So this spreadsheet probability forecast, it says how long it will take to complete feature based on story count, range, or estimate. How does it work? It works on a Monte Carlo analysis around it will calculate 500 times to get the at least the nearest result what can be done or when it can be accomplished. Why it is better than the burn down or a traditional agile forecasting? See, when you go to the burn down chart or other forecasting, which we are taking a median or an average, is it really accurate? Right? So we need to look into how this is better than or how it can be at least something better than other tools, whatever the average we are taking. And when it comes to reliability, it is a mathematics. I mean, you know that when it's mathematics, it's not always not incorrect. At least it is correct. Whatever it is providing, it's better than anything taking a simple average, right? So how to fill this one? We can fill this one only the highlighted, the orange color over here. So let's take an example over here. Let's assume this particular, let's assume you are planning to have around 100 story points of work, and you are starting today. Let's say you are joined to a team, and or you are already in a team. So the team needs to accomplish some 100 story point as of now, which is there in the board or a backlog. And they, as I asked earlier, your manager or a leaders will come, hey, when can you accomplish? You know that one from past experience, whatever the 100, which may, because of the change in requirement or a new requirements are coming up, so that may increase from, this is everything is a guesswork. Okay, the first of all, one thing is this is a guess from your past experience. We can fill how many stories are remaining, which can be like a story points or number of stories. We can do it in a both. I will start with the story point first, and I will go through the next on the story throughput or as number of stories. So let's assume your low guess is around 100, and highest guess from past experience maybe 150 it may go. That is the highest guess. And also the story, whatever the one story you are thinking about, there may be a chances because of once you went into a refinement session or understanding better or a discussion with the team, you may learn that every one story will split into highest case will be 1.25, which means if you take 4 stories, chances it may split into another new story will be created. Means 4 story will become 5 stories. So generally you will have a 2 weeks of sprint. So you can select whether it's a 2 weeks or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and this 2 weeks will be number of days, which will be a 14 days when you select, and 3 weeks means maybe from a different 21 days like that. Let's generally, most of the organization follows the 2 weeks of sprint. And here you are calculating on the story point. So you can select the throughput. Means data is a throughput, estimate is a story points. In this one, from past your historical data, means every team or your team, whatever the team you are working on, you are forecasting their lowest deliverables or a velocity in a particular sprint may be a 20 story points, and highest they delivered is 25 story. So when I enter this data, it will generate automatically a certainty when the input you provided, which is the guesswork, means how long, what is the number of stories which needs to be story point which can highest guess, and also the highest guess of how many story point it's going to split. So depending upon that one, it will provide a range. It will not say on this particular date. Generally, in standard across the organization, they look into the 85 percentile. Means in this 85 percentage, it will take 2 weeks of 8. Means it will take a 8 sprint to accomplish this work. Because if you look into this one, there are 100. If you know that one lowest guess, even though you are, hey, yes, it's a 100, but 150, which is highest guess, and again in that 1 to 1.25, every story may split into 1.25. If we calculate, it will calculate 100 different simulation and come up with this range. So when the 10% will be completed, when the 40% will be completed, when 50% will be completed, when 80% will be completed, or 85, or almost 100%, it is going to be completed in this one. So this will range says that one, it by 10/6, this, whatever the stories or whatever the estimation you have, the story points, we are as a team which is going to accomplish the range between 85% to 100% in this range. So any questions before moving to the next throughput, or I will show some other things for this one.
I do have a question. When you say how many stories remaining to be completed, like that's when we already have an estimate of all the story points. That means that we already know all the stories that we have in that project, and we already estimated it all. Is that what it means?
You have a guess, like, yes, you already have a guess. For example, you take a feature, right? So feature will be estimated maybe in the t-shirt sizing, and you'll convert into a story point, or which may be, you know that when you already split, you know eye level, what are the story points. That is the one which you are going to enter here. Maybe some of them you are not yet estimated, which you'll consider, yes, it may take another 50 points. So this is the range you'll give. Low guess is 100, highest guess is 150. Does it answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So this is the one way of estimating it. Another one is, as we're discussing, there is a, instead of no, we are in a Kanban, or we are in a, even though you're in the Scrum, but we never use the story points, what you'll look into the data. Data in the sense throughput. So let's assume the stories, number of stories remain to be completed. I'll take a guess of around 50, and I will take a guess of another highest guess, maybe another 10 stories may happens. So instead of 50, another 10 stories will be added. So from your past experience, every story may be split into 1.1, means we are so refined, but still there is a room. Sometimes it happens. Every one story, it is going to split to 1.1, means if you take a 10 stories, it will be 11th story, will be one more new story will be born or created. So again, the throughput velocity, let's calculate for 2 weeks, and I'm taking a data as 20. So every 2 weeks, teams may be able to deliver. I'm taking a guess of 10 and maybe maximum 15. Okay. So to do this one data, we need to enter the sample data from past, from your past 2 weeks of sprint or a Kanban, 2 weeks of whatever the if you are working on Kanban system, or from replenishment to replenishment meeting, or a 1 month or a 15 days, what the teams are delivering. So let's take an example over here. I will enter last 2 sprints, or a last, from past 5 to 6 sprints. The data you can enter is like a first sprint, it taken a 10, second sprint, it may be a 13, one sprint they created around 15 story points they are able to complete. Another sprint, it may be a 9. So another sprint, it may be, I can guess, again 10. So just I will take this one. So if you know this one, if you enter, it's not as a common or not a unique, like every sprint they're delivering 10 stories. No, it is, there varies. 9 also one sprint, 15 also another sprint, 13, 10, that delivered 10 stories in one of 2 sprints, right? So this will, we need to enter. And if you look into here, it says aim to keep this below 25%, adding more sample data if you have it. So better to have below 25%. So to get more accurate. So you need to come back here. I mentioned low guess was in our chart is 9 and highest was 50. So looking into this data, it will calculate how many weeks or how many sprints it required to accomplish the feature, which is having a 50 or a 60 stories by range of 50 to 60 and splitting up one. So it will say that one by 9/8, I mean September 8th, it will be completed, or 85% it may be completed by August 25th. So this is gives the range. You can calculate, it is not required, not only it will calculate the spreadsheet only the story points, it also calculate by using story throughput, or a number of stories. So this is another example, we can do this one. And I think in the beginning of the meeting, Kofa said, hey, yeah, we're having a dependencies, we're having a lot of risk, which may delay. So this spreadsheet will help us to enter that one. Means, what is the likelihood the risk can happen? For example, if that happens, what is the impact? What is the low impact? What is the high impact? So we can enter those data here. Likelihood, let's assume some server, I will take this one as an example. Let's assume server performance issues. Okay. So likelihood to happen, maybe some 20%. Impact, if that happens, which may be low impact, maybe 10%. High impact, maybe 15. And you can think about, there may be a chances environment issues may happen, right? Sometimes environments may be happen. So when that happens, likely to happen, maybe 10%. If it is happens, the highest impact may be a 5 and 10. So when you enter this data, which you know that one, you'll always have the roam, right? Or you'll always look into the what are the risks and what are the issues which may appear when you are delivering. So what it will do actually, this will take this consideration. Again, this one will recalculate all the data, and when you go back to your forecast, see the data has been changed now. So earlier it was 28 something and 85% was in August. Now it's changed to September. So it means this is calculating, it will include your risk issues or the impact when it is happens. What is the impact it may be, whether it's a low impact or a impact, and what is the likelihood to happen. So we can enter all those details here so that it will be more forecast with more accurate. I mean, it will give a opportunity for us to look into it. Hey, when we can deliver this. So this will be used when you join a new team, they're working on a very critical project or release date or their fixed date. And when you go and check, okay, are they able to meet the release date or not? So this is going to help us to predict or a forecast, are we in a right, are we able to meet the release date? So this is an opportunity where if you think we decided release will be in July, but it's showing September, hey, what we need to do, right? It will show the opportunity to think and plan accordingly, which means we need to change the number of our MVP, which we thought earlier, hey, we are going to deliver two new features. Then we need to think about, okay, what is the highest priority now? So whether we need to deliver two, whether we need to change our release date, or shall we go with the one feature first, then one functionality and one feature now, then we can go for in the next release another new functionality. Or should we need to increase the team size where, because for example, other teams are maybe they are not have work much work, can we get their help to accomplish this one? Or should we need to improve our refinement session where stories are not split much further? Or should we need to focus on risk and issues? Can we reduce that one? Can we have a dedicated risk or issues can be resolved sooner so that the percentile of forecasting can be decreased, means which can be delivered earlier. So this will opens up the conversation or opens up to discuss further, hey, how can we meet the release date? How can we do the MVP as we discussed, right? So these are the other things which the probability forecasting will help us. And when you look into the chart, I will show this one. So this will also show that one, okay, this is the data, simulated forecast date frequency from 8/1, this is the date, and also the burn down which you entered. See, these burn downs will take up from when as actual stories are completed, we can enter those data here. So this will give you what is the remaining and how much to be accomplished. So that will give you opportunity how the burn down chart can go down. So this is also 9/8/23 where we are accomplishing, right? It is predict the future or predict the forecast the future. So this forecasting, it's a probability forecasting which is used in our insurance, or used in banking, or mutual funds, and even weather forecasting, or some of the sports betting. Like everything is a forecasted, right? When it comes to the weather, they'll predict. Okay, there may be a chance of 30% of rain today. How they forecast? This is from the past data they will consider and they'll do it. The same thing has been this helped us to forecast our sprints, Kanban way of working, anything which is like a 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a 4 weeks from the past data, which can be collected and entered, and it will give a when we can likelihood to accomplish or almost certain. So I will open to the conversation here. Any questions, team? Let's have a question. Anybody have any questions?
It looks like no questions, no on chats, not on my private messages. So I think we can move on.
Okay. So this is what I want you to try. I mean, this is like you need to start utilizing, play around. Once you look into this spreadsheet can be downloaded in focused objective agile data. This is the one which is try-against, which I mentioned earlier. So when you go to the focusobjective.com, there is a spreadsheet tools section where you can download the story point or velocity or a throw fast forecast. So you can download from this link. So that will give an opportunity for you to play around. You can go to your teams, take their data, enter that one, and see is it working or it is giving a better forecasting. So when it can be accomplished, or when what is the 85 percentile are we able to deliver what we are committing, right? And also for the project manager, sometimes project managers always be planning, looking into that. This may be help them. Hey, when as a team, whatever the current the deliverables, looking into their deliverables velocity or a throughput, when their teams can deliver. That is another option. They can take an action. Okay, what are the challenges the teams are facing, or do we need additional support or anything? Those things will opens up to help that team and forecast better forecast. So this is again builds the collaboration, conversation it will bring, and collaborating with the leaders, teams, and everybody to make sure that we are hitting the a range of delivery timeline. Okay. And other one, just I would like to share with you this, whatever the probability forecasting, that is when we are able to accomplish. So there is one more company which is a actionable agile, which came up with a tool or an add-on which can be integrated to our Jira. So this particular, it has been developed by Daniel ISNT. So it may be like more than 5 years, I hope. So this is a couple of $1,000 to purchase this one. So you can, if you can propose to this your organization where you can connect with your directly to your Jira, and there are so many tools or activities which are metrics which will generate over here. This is a demo version. So here, when you look into this one, you can see there is a when we can accomplish. Okay, come on. Sorry. Over here. So these are the different metrics which will provide one: cycle time scatter, cycle time histogram, throughput, cumulative flow diagram, Monte Carlo, how many, Monte Carlo when, aging, flow efficiency, heat map, throughput run charter, WIP run chart, dashboard, source data. So these are the different data which it will cover. So just now we spoke about the when. So if you look into the same thing, see when the project is started and when it can be completed. So similar to the spreadsheet which we offered, but this one which will calculate more than 10,000 simulation.
Sorry, Umesh, I need to interrupt you. Guys, do you see the screen Umesh is sharing?
We see the forecast screen.
Okay, good, because I saw the question here. And another question, what is the add-on's name?
Actionable Agile.
Thank you.
So thank you for checking out that one, Aina. So if you look into this one, this is also gives you red, and it will become red to orange, orange to yellow, yellow to green, which means it will give a percentile when the team can accomplish. So we need to enter the data here. And since it's a demo version, I don't want to show this one, and it is not part of our, but I would like to share this one. Reason is, hey, my company can offer this one. So definitely you can connect with those people and buy this one, and this will give you all the throughput. If you want to know the flow diagram, histogram, cycle time, lead time, all those things automatically connects to your Jira, your board, and it will calculate the data over here. Okay. So any questions on this one? I think I can see some of the. Oh, you're seeing Excel sheet? Sorry.
Yeah. That's why I interrupted.
Oh my, but I thought I'm sharing this one. Okay, let me stop sharing. Okay. I'm very sorry. Let me share my desktop itself. Okay. Okay, this is the one which I'm talking about. Sorry to. So the first one is focused objective, which the spreadsheet you can download from focused objective. When you go to the spreadsheet tools, under that one, you can see story point velocity or a throughput forecasting. You can download the spreadsheet which I'm shown here over here, and also they are the classes they are taken, which you can do that one. And this is from the actionable agile, which I'm just speaking out. I think I'm speaking out myself. Sorry for that one. So which has been created by Daniel, and this one connects with our Jira, integrate with, which will give a live data or a live metrics. So this one, we can know that one, these are the different types of data or a metrics which will generate cycle time, throughput, CFD, Monte Carlo, how many are Monte Carlo when. This is the one which we are discussing right now on the spreadsheet, and other metrics as we front chart, all those things. When you go to the Monte Carlo when, this is a sample demo version. You can still try it out, whatever the data if we are having, but I'm not sure whether it works, but you can play around. This will give a range, as you mentioned, like a red is, it says we cannot, and red to orange, yes, we have some percentage, 50%, 70%, and 85%, it comes to green. 95% is 100%, 95 to 100, it says by this time we can deliver. So this is calculates, if you see, look into this one, when how many stories or what is the percentage, it will decrease from goes up and again decrease. So it will give a visualization. It will, you no need to enter anything. When you connect this one tool to your board, Jira board or your project board, it automatically calculates. And it will calculates, our spreadsheet calculate 500 simulation, but this will calculate more than 1,000.
Umesh, we have a question. Are there any requirements or assumptions for data for using the Monte Carlo simulation?
So it's a guesswork. In Monte Carlo simulation, this is when you share the spreadsheet, when you look into this one, it's a guess. At this moment, we are providing, inputting the, hey, this may be number of stories or a story points. And also we may be providing, hey, what is the highest case maybe. So Monte Carlo will calculate depending upon that, the input we are providing. There is no requirement or anything here to be enter the data. So you are entering only the some 5-6 data here, not more than that. It will generate a clean data or a likelihood to happen when it can be delivered. Does it answer the question people who are asking here? Sorry.
I think there is another part of this question, like, for example, assumptions of normality or non-normality.
Example, assumption of normality or non-normality. What is that exactly? Can I know more than that one? Normality, what is that they are talking about here? Vindra?
Could you answer what you mean by normality or non-normality? You can unmute yourself and speak up if it's easier for you.
For data, okay. So you're talking about the data. See, there is nothing. This is on the past data from your team. It is just the data which your teams are already from past 10, maybe 1 year or 6 sprints or 10 sprints they are working on. You are entering the low case, right? Okay, the team has delivered 9 stories is one of that is the lowest case. And the highest case, some of the sprint they deliver around 15 stories. That is the data you're entering. This is the data, real data, which you are getting from your team. Our teams are delivering. There is no assumption, nothing. These are the guess. That is the one thing. Okay. From my past experience, teams may split the story from 10 stories may become a maximum another one story may be added because of the new requirement or because which we never thought about that particular functionality. Okay. Any other questions?
Not on chats or private or LinkedIn, unless someone would like to speak up.
I think we can go back to the benefits, and I can go back to the benefits which directly. So as we discussed, the probability forecasting will give a future events like how, when, or what is the probability when we can accomplish it. Here we don't make any assumptions and we are providing actual data from the past sprints, and it will provide the risk and assumptions which we are thinking about, which may be what is the impact if this risk happens, and what would have been need to be taken care, so reduce our deliverable dates or a range of dates which is provided. So as I mentioned, this is everything we need to play around what to be done, and main thing it will opens up collaboration across the leadership, across the teams, or the dependency teams or dependency vendors. When can we deliver? What to be done? When you show the data, when you see that yes, we are not able to reach our data or delivered dates, what action we need to take? That is overall, it will opens up those action items. So this is the benefit of utilizing the forecasting, probability forecasting. There may be a different forecasting tools, but this is related to our Agile way of working. I mean, this is related to our sprints or a Kanban throughput, which we can utilize here. Okay.
Yeah, and it's especially useful when the teams or business units just start transforming, and we are in the ambiguous world where we are moving to Agile as teams, but leadership still stuck in waterfall mentality. So they ask us lots of forecasts, provide us lots of deadlines, and it's not easy to transform right away. That's why we can use these forecasts while we are transforming, like us as teams and transforming leadership mindsets. And again, if the teams are new and it's hard for them to understand story points estimation, and it's hard for them to predict, and people freak out when us Agile coaches ask about the vote of confidence. If you are going to accomplish everything you've planned by the end of the sprint, like from 0 to 10, how much confident you are. If people don't know what the answer, these forecasts can be used as tools to help people feel secure during the transition until they get a bit more maturity. This is where I am now. Thank you, Kofa.
Thank you. Okay, I'm start sharing. Too many questions. Anybody?
I have a question, sorry. In the situation whereby the stories that we're actually supposed to have for that product, we're still gathering it. So we don't have all the stories at hand. So we can actually tell what the estimated story point will be all together. I can use the other, like I can use the other data where we know the numbers of stories the least number of stories we completed in a particular sprint with the highest number of stories we completed in that sprint. Would that give me an idea just using that alone?
From past data you're talking about, or you want
Yes.
to predict? Okay. Yes, definitely. I mean, you can use that one. That is the purpose. You can enter, okay, my teams are delivered around 30 points, right? Sometimes they may deliver 25 points. Sometimes they delivered 50 points, right? So you can enter the lowest and highest in that spreadsheet. That will provide you when we can the percentile when the team can deliver the future. Or you can think in another way also. Let's assume if we don't have any past data. Okay, so it's a brand new team, but we need to accomplish some particular release date for the particular feature. And what to be done, right? The feature, we know that one from past experience, we may be a scrum master or a, hey, this feature may be split into a guess. Yeah, again, everything is guess, right? Here, it may be required around 200 points. So, and we are having a new team. So still the requirements are not clear. And whatever we are having, maybe around 50 stories or 60 stories are there. So requirements are not 100% yet, or you are not gone through refinement session. We can think about in another way. Okay, to accomplish the 200 points with the assumption of the splitting number of stories it may split, or the number of story point may increase, right? So on that basis, we can enter the data, see what is it is giving a predictability, right? Forecasting. So then decide, hey, to deliver our existing feature, what action I need to take. For example, I need to make sure that on every sprint, maybe instead of 30, I need to deliver 40 points or 50 points. And also, I need to improve my refinement sessions better so that I'll not have much stories and everything is understood. Or I need to, should I need to create, build one more team to deliver or help us to deliver to achieve the release date. So this will opens up. It may be your past data, or you can think about another way. How can I make sure that when I'm meeting the delivery date? So what to be, how many stories I need to complete to accomplish that one, looking into the risk or issues. So this is other way we can think about. It's a kind of, I don't, main purpose of it, the past data, but you can think about utilizing this spreadsheet, thinking for the future with a new team started.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking. Thank you for being active, Kofo.
Yeah, Kofo.
Any other questions, guys? Okay, let's boost some energy. Give us thumbs up if you're going to use this tool in your work.
Hi, good day. I have a question, please.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was discussed at the start because I missed the first part of the presentation. Are there any type of data or any applications that Monte Carlo shouldn't be used for, where it would give wrong predictions or anything like that?
So Monte Carlo is mainly for the forecasting the future, right? It will take the mathematical techniques and predicts the possibilities. I mean, it is only forecasting what happens. Like when you take a mutual fund, right?
Right.
It is forecasting, hey, when it can be become you invested like today $100. Maybe that predicts after 10 years or 15 years, it may give like $1,000 for you, or maybe $900. So it is predicts depending upon how the past market working. On that basis, it will predict the future. So it will give a range. It's not predict you are going to get an 900. It will say you may be getting a range of $800 to $1,000. So that is how it is. It is mathematics. It calculates on the past data and it will generate the future data. So it may not be even working on a data. The chances are less, which will be a main failure.
And
okay, cool. Understood. Thanks.
Sorry, Vindra, I just love the question and I want to reiterate and like summarize where are going to be challenges. So basically 2 challenges what I identified from Umesh presentation. So first challenge This simulation is highly dependent on the input values and distribution. So if there are mistakes in the input, most likely there are going to be mistakes in output. So if mistakes are made when electing the input, probability distribution, so it can lead to very inaccurate results. And another challenge, it takes the excessive computational power to perform these experiments, and sometimes it will take hours or a day to run it. It depends on the data you're going to input there.
Okay. Thank you, Aina, adding that one. Yes, anything, it's like a wrong input, you'll get a wrong data only. Thank you.
Avindra, you wanted to say something else? Did I interrupt you?
No, that was it. That was it, because I was basically asking about the challenges, and you both answered. Thank you very much.
Oh, I just downloaded it at work now. Thank you, Kofa. You're so proactive. We are glad that people start using the knowledge right during we speak about it. All right, if there is no further questions, counting 1, 2, 3, last time to place on chat. Otherwise, we are closing this lesson and lunch today. Thank you very much, everyone who participated today and spent an hour with us. And thank you very much, Umesh, for being my guest today and coming and share the knowledge. When Umesh shared it with me during our project together, I was impressed that I learned about it a few years ago during the MBA, but I even didn't think about that I can use it in our Agile project. So I was so impressed and asked Umesh to share the details. And then I was like, why don't you share it with other people? Why do we keep it just for ourselves at work? So again, Umesh, thank you very much for sharing it to the broad audience. And thank you guys for being with us, and hope to see all of you next Friday.
Thank you, Aina, for providing an opportunity to share with the audience. Thank you.